Good day. Hi, my name is Lynn Erasmus, and today we're going to be speaking about belonging and adapting. And I've got the incredible Olga Geidane joining us today, an executive coach, keynote speaker, author. I can't get enough of this woman, and I'm sure you're going to know why after hearing 5 minutes with Olga. So welcome, Olga. Thank you for joining us today.
It's absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Lynn, for asking me to be on your show. And I'm just looking forward to serve your community as much as possible.
That's my girl. That's exactly why we're here. So Olga prepared a few questions for you. My first one is going to be, what does belonging mean for you? So what in a, I don't know, paragraph, sentence, whatever you want to say, what does belonging mean to you?
It's a big one, Lynn. It's something we all are seeking. And very often we're not getting that. And in my case, I was not getting that since I was a little girl in my own family because I did not feel I belong. And I spent decades learning what belonging is.
Wow.
And only in recent years I realized that belonging starts within ourselves.
Goosebumps. Literally goosebumps just ran down. So that was going to be my next question, was going to be about what was your earliest sense of belonging, or when did you first know that you either belong or didn't belong, and what was that journey? Is it still the same? Do you still identify as that person? What shifted and changed for you?
There are massive changes, Lane. Seriously, humongous changes. I will start with the earlier memories. And what was then is just the feeling that I'm not the same like everybody else. When I would go to school, I would be, I came from a very poor family, so we didn't have many means to buy new clothing or modern clothing, forget that. So that means I was bullied because I didn't look good. I was the tallest girl in the class. I'm still quite tall. So I was bullied because I was the very tall girl. I was also bullied because I was very skinny. I'm still quite, slim. So I was always bullied for many reasons. And for me, it was like people were rejecting me. That was the sign I don't belong because I'm not one of you. I don't belong because you laugh at me. And at whom do you laugh? You laugh at people who like clowns, right? You laugh at those who are not the same like yourself. I mean, children are cruel, right? We're not supposed to do that, but children are cruel. And this was actually we learned that we don't belong because we are different. And it took me ages to learn that being different means I got to celebrate myself. And for example, one thing I could absolutely never put in a spotlight was me being very and highly intuitive since I was little, and also getting lots of downloads and channeling since I was a little girl. So that was something I was hiding, and Lynn, you will not believe it, for probably 34 years of my life. I kid you not.
Why? Were you ashamed of it?
Because since childhood, I learned it's not something you show because not everybody has that.
Okay.
Because after a couple of conversations with my friends when I shared that, and they said, well, I don't get any voices. Well, I don't see that. I don't feel that. I was like, ooh, you better don't share more. Right? And when these friends, only then later will learn, these are not friends who don't accept you the way you are, right? And when these friends did Michael Jackson moves right out of my life, I just simply realized, don't show who you are, because who you are, people will not like it. So mutual part of me was hiding there for years. Seriously, only in the last probably 5-6 years, I started to really show who I am. And especially when it came to relationships. If you ask any of my previous partners, apart of my husband, nobody will tell you that I was spiritual. None of them.
That is crazy. And how did you keep the secret to yourself? What did that do to you as a human being?
Apart of feeling always weird and strange, it just was damaging my confidence. Because of course you want to be like them, even though you never know who are they, because they is very vague. What is they? But they where you are. And for example, when I came to the UK, I came with no English, so I could say only, hi, my name is Olga, and this is it. I came with no money, and I came with no identity. So these people now would either accept me or not. And this was the day I remember when I was standing one day by the train station handing out magazines, because this is how I started in the UK. I thought to myself, I'll literally have a chance to start brand new life. brand new life. And that was scary.
Goosebumps.
That was
Oh,
exciting. Yes, it was exciting. It was scary, but same time it was damaging me because I didn't know who I was. When you hide
okay.
yourself your entire life, what part of you do you show?
Yes. And
Right?
what did you do? What did you do? How did you start the journey?
So I decided to go from one extreme to another. So back in Latvia, I was never showing myself who I was. And I
Yeah.
thought, well, now I have a chance to show fully who I am. Again, I thought I was showing fully, but I wasn't, of course.
Okay.
I thought I will. And this is where I start sharing with people my dreams. This is
Yeah.
where I start sharing with people what I want to achieve. And suddenly I received a big welcome.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, that's refreshing because I grew up and I was obviously raised by very small-minded family. And I don't blame them because that's
yes.
how they were raised. We
Yes.
cannot blame our
Yes.
parents.
No.
They give what they can with what
Yes.
they have.
100%.
Right? That's it. But when you grow within the family who are very small-minded, when you constantly hear, you will never achieve that, you will never go there, you will never get this. It's like, oh, but I really want to. So I'm in the UK and I say, I want to do this. Oh, you can do it. I want to go there. Yes, you can.
Woo.
Oh, I wonder how I can. Well, how about if you go X, Y, Z and you will achieve that? That was just like a fresh breath, but it took me a while to adjust to that.
Okay.
That was new. So it felt like I arrived to UK not knowing who I am. And I started practicing these new baby steps of who am I? Learning about myself, understanding myself, showing to people a little bit more of myself, a little bit more of myself. For example, passion for psychology and behavior. My very first course on psychology was at the age of 15. This is when
Wow.
I learned about psychology and the brain work of babies between the birth and the age of 7.
Okay.
Right? I never told it about to anyone because people think, well, you're crazy. Why would you learn something like that at that age? But because I had a desire. I had my
Wow.
passion, I had my desire. So only when I came to the UK, I was able to fully embrace my wisdom and my knowledge when it comes to back then therapy and counseling and also psychology. Then I trained myself into coaching and stuff like that. So that was different journey. I mean, it's still a massive part of my journey in general life.
Yes.
But only in the UK, I was open and I was willing and I was ready to really embrace who I am and what I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said from the beginning it was fine. You fitted in, people accepted you. There was no backlash as to, oh, who do you think you are to come here and say you want all this fabulous things? Or was it majority open and accepted and say, yes, yes, Olga, let's do this?
So that was a mixture, Lynn. I'll be really lying to you if I would say absolutely not. I never had any rejection. I never had any situation when I had to build my resilience, right? That would be a total lie. And I will not lie because it's not fair with people who are listening to this. So no, of course, there was a lot of backlashes. Of course, there were lots of resilience. There was a lot of no's. There was a lot of, who do you think you are? Like
Okay.
one of my partners, for example, he literally told me to my eyes, that was many years later after I came to UK. He said to me, who do you think you are to be international speaker? Who do you think you are? You came all the way from Latvia. Nobody even knows what Latvia is. You don't even speak proper English. That's exactly what he said, right? So it's not like I had some naysayers there in the beginning. I also had them through my life. But
Wow.
here's the thing. You either hear no and you go ahead and you do it, or you
Yes.
hear no and you go, you succumb into the corner and you cry and you sulk,
Yes.
right?
Now,
But
how do you make that switch? How
so
do you build that courage to say, I'm going to show you?
Well, because first, I have a first rule, and I'll share that because I think that'll be really valuable to those who actually are having those people who are naysayers in their lives.
Okay.
I have green zone friends and I have red zone friends.
Ooh.
And my green zone friends, that to them and with them, I discuss what I want, where I'm going, what I'm heading, what my dreams are. That's my green zone
Ooh.
friends. That means I get inspired by these people. That means I get motivated by these people. That means we have deep, meaningful, real conversations. And I have red zone friends. They should be even friends. But these are all people at whom I roll my eyes. Right?
Okay.
And what do I mean by that? For example, if I would have a conversation right now with you and I would feel you are draining my energy, and we would finish the call and I'll go, Lynn, never ever again. That's red. If you would
Okay.
tell me, Olga, who do you think you are? That's red zone. If
Oh,
you would have told me, I know, like, I don't think so, we can do it because I don't know, I haven't met it, my friend haven't met it, I don't think so, you Olga, you will do it. That means red friend zone. Okay. I start just literally decluttering all my circle, like my entire circle of friends and people who were there, into red zone and green zone.
Okay.
And I would spend more time with my green zone versus my red zone.
Yes.
And again, we have family members who very often are in a red zone.
Yes. Correct.
Yes. And that meant I reduced my communication with my family friends.
Yes.
I stayed away with some people who were small-minded, coming from my country or some other places, right? And I increased conversations with those people who were more open-minded, they were driven, they were aspirational and inspirational. So that was my tactic, because I just realized, well, I'm not the UK back then. Left all my friends behind me, left my family behind me. I can pick and choose with whom I want to be friends here.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, liberating.
Pick and choose. Exactly. But the truth is, you can pick and choose at any time of your life.
Yes.
You don't have to wait until you move to another country, another continent.
What do you think it needs to be? Where's the starting point? So for someone listening in and they say, well, I've been in the same country all my life, I've lived in the same town, same friends. How do I make that switch? What is that? Where do we start?
So simply ask yourself a question. Am I happy when I speak to this person? That's first, because you got to become self-aware of how do you feel around this person. Somebody might tell you this is a great person, you believe them, you spend time with them, but you don't feel great. Yes. So you got to become self-aware. How do you feel around this person or that person? So start asking yourself a question. How do I feel about and around them? If it is a no, I don't feel good, I don't feel inspirational, I don't feel like I'm moved by our meeting, I don't feel like I want to move mountains after we met, then maybe it's a more red zone, and that means use the time with them. You don't have to tell them, hey, I don't want to talk to you because of this or that. It also can be quite painful sometimes to hear, but reduce the time you spend with them, especially if it is a family member. Reduce the time you spend with them. And also, most importantly, if you cannot reduce the time you spend with them, if it is family member especially, learn how to build a barrier around you. So what I sometimes when I go, let's say I'm going to my grandmother. She's one of those who is mega negative. Everything is wrong in the world. The world is collapsing. Apocalypse is going to happen tomorrow, right? So she's one of those. So what normally I do when I go there, I visualize myself in a mirrored bowl. It's like mirrored, like a bowl, like a circle around me. And anything comes my way, it gets mirrored back. So anything comes my way, it goes back. So nothing really can go through because I'm protected by this mirror ball. I'm protected. I'm here. I'm called cocoon, called whatever, right? But just visualizing that and having that mirrored walls allows me to believe nothing will impact me. That means I'm going to see her with a mindset, nothing will impact me. Whatever you say is not going to impact me.
I love that.
I'm able to stay calm. This one, she's not able to make me feel angry or frustrated. Because again, she's in that age where, she has seen some life, let's put it this way. And negativity level goes through the roof. But that's your life. I'm nobody to change her. But what I can do, I can change the attitude I go with to her house.
Yes.
And you do the same thing in any environment. You go to a networking event. Well, why would you go to a networking event which you don't enjoy? That's a good question. But if you go to a networking event which you're not going to enjoy, right? Just create around you this balloon, I know, cocoon, whatever you believe in, but with mirrored walls. So anything comes your way, goes right back to them. Whatever. Their jealousy, their negativity, their disbelief in you, anything they project to you, it goes all the way back to them. And
I like that. It's so important and I'm feeling very excited for the future of the world. I think there's a massive shift that's starting to happen, and it's been over the past 4-5 years. The shift is taking place. And I really enjoy that people are talking more openly about, mental health issues and all these things that used to be taboo. And it's so important. In a previous discussion, we were talking about shame that is blocking us from really living our full life because of society is shaming us to fit into a certain box so that we can stick by the rules, so that we don't become a nuisance and we don't become too much for them to handle. So how do you create your own path? How do you find that belonging within yourself? How do you find that self-love for your own self so that you can be a better person and love the world better and create a sense of belonging for your family and friends and the business environment, wherever you find yourself in? Now, I know you're a big advocate for self-love. Now, would you mind sharing a little bit more of your journey and what you think? Why is this so important for feeling a sense of belonging within yourself?
Absolutely. It's actually there's direct connection because again, you can't feel you belong in any society, any team, or any environment if you don't feel you belong within yourself,
Yes.
in your own inner world, because we are like that combination of mini worlds within one big world. So
Yeah.
if you enter an event, if you enter a meeting, if you enter anything with a world full of thunderstorm, what energy are you bringing?
Yes.
What are you carrying with you? You bring in this electricity and everything gets
Mm.
right around you, right? And then of course there are many other people who do the same thing,
Yes.
right? So what you do with your electrified energy, which is crazy, which is turbulent, which is not healthy, which is negative, you
Mm.
attract many other negative people. And this is how you
Mm.
then have groups of people who are like that. How do you change that? Well, what will make you feel good? That's the first question. Let's forget the jargon, self-love, self-care, because very often it's like, well, what does it mean, self-love? What does it mean,
Yeah.
self-care? Ask yourself a better question. What will make me feel good
Yeah.
without harming other people?
Yes.
Disclaimer,
Yes.
without
Correct.
harming other people,
Yes.
right? But what
Yes.
will make me feel good? I think meditation will make me feel good.
Mm.
I think
Mm.
going for a walk will make me feel really good. Go for a walk. I think
Yes.
yoga. I think going for a run.
Yeah.
I think having a smoothie in the morning,
Mm.
whatever will make you feel good,
Mm.
ultimately make
Mm.
other people feel good around you.
Oh, I
And
love that.
this is how you build better environment around you. But when you are angry, when you are anxious, when you
Mm.
are whatever negative emotion is there, when you take that to the other environment, you bring more of that. And you don't.
Yes. And I love that. I often speak about integrity, and this for me relates to that. That promise that you make to yourself.
Mm.
So, but integrity with the common good. So it's all good and well for you to live within integrity with yourself and be okay with you, but it must also have that golden rule where it harms no one else at the same time. So the minute you can actually do something for, so let's rephrase that. If you say to yourself, I want to lose 10 kilograms, whatever, 10 kilograms in the next 2 months, and you know for a fact that over the next 2 months is Christmas. So you know what you're going to happen over Christmas. You're going to eat a lot more of food and junk and meat and puddings, like sweets, etc. It's going to be cold. It's going to be miserable weather. So you're probably not going to be out and about all the time. But you set this intention because you really, really want it. And then 2 months down the line, you probably picked up 10 kilograms. You didn't even lose. And then a little bond has been broken between you and yourself. And every time you keep going out there and say, I'm going to do that, and you don't do it, you break it down again, break it down again, and break it down again. And eventually, you don't know who you are. You don't trust yourself. Other people don't trust you, and you're a complete mess. So, how to get back in alignment with yourself is this journey of integrity, honoring your emotions. Like you say, if you feel like a smoothie in the morning, have a smoothie. If you feel like you need to take a break from your computer, take a break from the computer. Honor yourself enough to go and do the things that's going to make you happy. Now, Olga, I've got a big question for you.
Go
You
on.
are living a lifestyle that few of
Elizabeth.
us would even dream of doing. Not even dream. We wouldn't even think of doing such a thing. So you've got a nomadic lifestyle that you chose. What's it now? A year now?
Yes.
Yeah, just
Well,
about a
actually,
year
it's been
now.
exactly a year now. Exactly a year now. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it's been a year since we spoke last time. Completely different conversation.
Right? Exactly.
So thank you for that. I mean, you really shifted my mindset in that time. I was, you know, I was not in a good place, and I needed that green friendship around me to say, yes, Lynn, you can do it. What you are dreaming is not impossible. So thank you for being my green friend. So Olga, can you please share with us your beautiful lifestyle and where does this come from and what has shifted for you? So we're talking about belonging. You don't belong in any country. You don't belong in any house. You've got a suitcase. Explain this to me. How is this working for you?
So it is confusing for many people because whenever people meet me, they always assume I'm from England, from Britain, because of my accent, even though it's not perfectly British. Obviously, it's not.
Yeah,
But still, they think that I'm from Britain. And I'm saying, no, I'm not from Britain. I'm from Latvia. Oh, so you live in Latvia? No, I don't live in Latvia. I haven't lived there now for nearly 15 years. Lived in UK for a very long time. And now I travel full time. Okay, so where's your home? I travel full time. So I get it. But where's your home? I don't have a home in traditional sense. I have a suitcase and a rucksack, right? But actually, it's it's a concept which many people don't don't understand, that can't grasp it, because what we think home is four walls and stuff in the house. This is the home.
yes.
And very often people go home, but they don't want to go home because it's not really home for them. It's a torture place, right? They hate the place they're living, they hate the relationship they're in, and they're not happy there, right?
Yeah.
So I always say my home is here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what my
wow,
home is.
wow, wow.
Nobody can ever take it away. Nobody can ever do anything to it because it's mine. Nobody can ever impact it because I protect it. Right? Nobody can ever kick me out of that because it's right here. Right?
Powerful.
So that's good. That's good. But actually, many people think it's very glamorous and amazing and fantastic to travel full time. And people forget that we have attachments to stuff. We have fears. What about not having an address?
Yeah.
What about all the letters that are coming through? What letters? How many letters have you received recently? Right? Or
Bills. Bills.
exactly, right? Or what about where people can come see you? Well, they can come anywhere to see me. There are lots of restaurants and cafes where we can meet. And of course, I'm not going to invite people to my private rooms, but it's a concept that to me, it's freedom. For me, it's a liberation. For me, it's the dream come true, because I always dreamt about traveling full time for work, but also pleasure, which meant I didn't want just to travel for work for one day to one location, do my workshop, do my speaking, and then move on. I want to see people. I want to try food. I want to do activities. I want to go to museums. I want to learn about the place, right? I want to really educate myself about the location where I am, and then move on to the next one. It doesn't happen every single time that I can spend somewhere like 2 weeks, for example. Mostly it's about a week, sometimes even 1 day or 2 days. But I do my best to extend my stay so I can stay longer. Because if it is too often, it's a bit chaotic.
Okay.
And this is where home gets a little bit unsettled.
Okay.
If it's 1 day here, 2 days here, 3 days here, then you feel like, it's not right. Something is too much movement, right? Let me just settle a little bit so I can feel calmer, so I can have my routine of walking, meditating, this and that. And here's the thing: belonging is either there within you or it's not there for you at all.
Okay.
Because when you travel full time, where do you belong? You don't belong to the plane, it's not yours, right?
Yes.
You don't belong to the train station, it's not yours, right? Where do you belong? I recently came from Latvia, as you know, we just had a conversation about this before we started recording the show. And there I went back and I got so emotional because I realized I don't belong here.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I don't belong to UK either.
Wow.
And I spent majority of my life in Latvia. I spent significant time of my life in UK, and I don't belong anywhere.
Wow.
I always say to myself, well, I belong to myself. And belonging starts within me, because if I will feel unsettled and not belonging within me, I'll give this impression to you. I'll give this impression to everybody else. You might not notice that it's me not feeling belonging, right? You might think, oh, she was a bit stressed today. She was a bit today. So you might not identify what I feel within myself, but you will notice something is not right.
Okay.
That's why it's really important to feel you belong within yourself. You
Okay.
know who you are, you love yourself, you accept yourself, you are proud of yourself, you
Yes.
acknowledge yourself for your journey, you thank yourself for all the lessons you learned, not the failures, all the lessons you learn, and you're ready to go and move on forward.
Oof, I love it. I love that. I've got a slogan I came up with about 2 years ago. And I was just trying to think, when I start my keynote speaking journey, so you got to have like a saying, you got to have a something. So I thought, okay, what does it fits well with me? And it's become unstoppable. And when I looked at it, when I did a logo, it is be you. And I was like, oh, yes, yes, yes. It's all about being you. It's just being comfortable with yourself. Now, you said something that is very interesting when you feel a little bit unsettled, when there's too much movement, you're still human, right, Olga? I mean, you still got fears, doubts, desires, just like any other person. So you said something very interesting, and you said when movement becomes too much for me, when I feel unsettled, you stay a little bit longer. You go for that walk, you meditate. So I like to call it make your life sacred, creating a ritual that grounds you in. So it sounds to me that is what you did. That's what you do. You create a ritual where you go walk, do a meditation. Is that right?
100%, absolutely. And you can create as many rituals as you want. You can have it as long as you want or short as you want. One of the other side of the ritual is also doing my affirmations. This is I go into my affirmations list, which are my own affirmations. And this would just go through them. One of them, for example, my life is a miracle. When I read that, it's like, my life is a miracle. It's like, oh, my life is a miracle. Yes, I might be traveling too much lately, but my life is a miracle. It's exactly what I always wanted.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. I am love. Oh, I am love. Okay, I'm love. I'm love. So when you say your affirmations, you can have your own. I have a list of mine, which I just simply have in my calendar as tasks, and I tick them off every day. And I noticed for 2 days, if I don't tick them off, it's like, okay, hello, you haven't done your affirmations. I can feel within myself the need to read something positive to myself, because we're either reading negative news, Twitter, Facebook. There's also affirmations. That's also affirmations, just negative, and they are imposed on you, right?
Yes.
Simple as that.
Oh my goodness, you're so right.
It's true, right? We don't, like, for example, stuff what we hear on television, on radio. This all is auto suggestions.
Yes.
They're all there
They
for
prime you.
Exactly.
They prime you to think a certain way, and you've got to unprime yourself. And it's interesting that we like to think that we set ourselves a target, we achieve it, and then we think that's it. We're okay now. Especially when you when you start the self-awareness journey, self appreciation, love journey. You think, okay, well, I'm here now. Now I can just sit back, and everything is just going to happen for me. And then you said, if I don't do this for 2 days, I get that icky feeling like, oh, something's not right. And it's so true. It's that consistency every single day, priming your mind for the greatness and the path that you want to go onto. Now a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't be saying positive affirmations because it's not true. I get that. And, it falls into that integrity part when you say something to yourself and it's just a lie. It's not real. It's not true. What's your take on this?
Okay. The truth is a lie are two things that you choose for yourself. What is the truth? What is a lie? When you ask a murderer why did they murder somebody, they will tell you the whole truth why they did it. And they're convinced that they've done the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? So what's right and what's wrong is entirely up to you. If you think it's right for you to say, I'm fat, I'm fat, and you're okay with that, and you feel good about it, well, go ahead. But I haven't met a person who feels good about themselves saying to themselves, I'm fat, right? So, okay, you might not want to tell yourself, oh, I'm slim and I'm light, I'm like half of my weight. Yes, that's a lie. That's obvious lie. You look in the mirror and you know you're not half of your size. But can you tell yourself, today I'm getting better and better with my health and my diet? And in fact, Lynn, I know earlier on you mentioned I want to lose 10 kilograms. And I would like just to go back to that because it relates to this, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat. Whenever you tell your subconscious that I want to lose, subconscious says, I don't want to lose anything. No. We're going to hold on to everything from now on. I know everybody on a standby because we just want to lose something. But we don't want to lose anything. So we're going to stuff our mouths even more, right? That's what our subconscious does. It doesn't.
Brilliant.
Statements. So when it comes to I'd like to lose, like I'm right now on my journey to getting into my favorite shape.
Okay.
How is that?
I like that. It sounds better.
Exactly, right? But when it sounds better, it's like favorite. Ooh, subconscious goes, favorite? Did you say favorite? Oh, we like favorite. Where do we go? What do we do? Well, for the favorite shape, we got to walk more. Okay, let's walk more because it's favorite shape, right? So you got to excite your subconscious. Yes. That's why many people say, I don't want to lie to myself. Don't lie to yourself. Can you do something today to be better? Yes. So say, today I'm doing everything I can to be better tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, man.
Change.
Yeah. I'm taking you in my little pocket. I'm just squeezing you into a beautiful little, like a purse size, and I'm just going to take you everywhere I go. And
sure,
if I need you, I'm going to open Olga up and say, Olga, speak to me. And Olga's going to jump out and say, Lynn, I love you.
Absolutely.
You're fabulous.
Absolutely. But that's the thing. When was the last time we looked into the mirror and we said, I love you? I love you. Seriously.
No, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, you don't because you're awesome at that. But so many people trust me. And I've done enough of mirror work with the client to realize how much they suffer. Back in the day.
Always.
Yeah, go on.
I'm joking about this, but it's not always been like this. I mean, I detested myself for a long time, for most of my life. But for the past 6 years, I can't get enough of me. And I'm like, hey, you.
Gorgeous.
Today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing. The minute you feel gorgeous about yourself, the minute you feel sexy about yourself, other people find you gorgeous and sexy.
Yeah, and I perform better, you know, when I think I look good and I feel good, my quality of my work is so much better than when I wake up and like, oh, I don't want to get up. I stay in bed. I'm done pushing myself. If I don't feel look good, I stay in. Read that book. So Olga, I would like to ask you, now we've been on quite a personal journey of belonging and self-discovery and self-love. Now, when we look at the corporate environment, and you've got a lot of experience with working with businesses and creating that sense of belonging and inclusion. So what do you think, from all your experience with working with companies, what are they doing wrong and what are they doing right? What do you think is the missing part for companies to create truly inclusive culture of belonging for their employees?
Okay, that's a fantastic question. I hope people will not hate me for the answer. But again, it's going back to basics. Is those individuals who are coming to their work environment with their negative and thunderstormy mini world, they're creating this world of organization. So here, a big pressure right now I'll put on a leader, right? Because you're the one who is going to the company to lead. Leadership is like there's a leader on a ship. So you have a ship right now, which you're the captain. As a captain, are you going towards positive or negative? As a captain, are you choosing good food to have on your ship or bad food or rotten food, right? As a captain, are you choosing good team on your ship or you choosing team that are just energy suckers, right? It's really, there's a huge pressure on a leader because again, you're the one who is driving this ship. You're the one who is actually responsible for what energy the organization is having in general. And if you as a leader are not working on yourself, if your values are not aligned with your business, with your organization, with your personal values, then you're going to have disalignment. And that disalignment will bring lack of integrity. It will bring a lack of belonging. It will bring a lack of understanding and many other negative things.
Okay.
So what can you do to start changing that? First of all, I would say massive pressure. Let's put, not pressure, it's a bad word, but let's put massive emphasis on helping leaders to be better leaders in organizations. So that could be the example, because staff will do what their leaders are doing.
Yes.
If staff is gossiping about other people, if that means the leader is talking behind the backs of other people, right? If a leader is bringing some negativity, if leader is not connecting with their teams, if leader is not bringing the personal attitude, staff
Vulnerability.
Exactly. But being vulnerable, it sounds scary,
Yes.
but actually what I learned on my journey, being vulnerable connects people.
Yeah.
So if you want your team to be connected, if you want your team to be a team, become vulnerable. Simply open up, share yourself, your real you, and you will see how people will tell you, you are the best leader we have ever had because you're authentic. Stop being that boss who always have to have a poker face and know everything. You're not there to know everything.
Yeah.
You're there to surround yourself with the best people around you. So start doing that and create a sense of home in your organization. Don't create a sense of we only like you if you're XYZ. And if you're not, then you don't belong. Well, you know, Lynn, one of the things I'm really proud of is whilst I was president of PSA Yorkshire for 2 years, is the stuff and things I heard from people when I was passing on my presidency. What I heard a lot from individual conversations, also during the meeting and in general, that, Olga, I joined PSA only because you were the regional president at the time.
Wow.
Joined PSA only because of you. And now what's going to happen? I was like, stay. Why would you leave? And what I heard back was really painful to hear, right? And they said, well, but you're the one who made me so welcomed. Because of you, I felt I belonged there.
Wow, that's powerful. Goosebumps.
Right?
Goosebumps.
Because I am welcoming people with my open arms. Because you are the human beings. If we lose all our flesh and skin goes and hair goes and everything, we just will have skeleton.
Yes.
We're all identical.
What do you think is holding leaders back from being vulnerable and authentic? What do you think they're truly afraid of?
Ego and pride. These
Why
two
is that so
things,
important?
because nobody wants to be seen as weak, as not knowing something, as they're not there yet. Everybody wants to be seen as powerful and knowledgeable and perfect. And the minute you are vulnerable, people think you will be seen as imperfect. It means you are wrong. Because again, let's go back to schooling. What happened when you would say wrong answer on a question from a teacher? You'll be said, you'll be told you are wrong.
Yes.
You know, thank you for your opinion. I haven't heard that at school. Thank you for your perspective. That's very interesting. No, wrong answer, right answer.
Yeah.
And right answers are praised. Right answers are always there to teach others. Right pupils who are giving always the right answers, they're the ones on the top of the list.
Yes.
They're always in the front of the class. Right? They're always in the front line. They're the favorites of the teachers. So what do we learn from very early childhood? Whenever you are sharing something what's come from your own thoughts, your own heart, whatever, your own wisdom, it could be wrong.
Okay.
And that means you're not going to be liked anymore.
Okay.
Do we want that? No, because we want to belong. So what do? All the wrong things to belong, right?
Okay.
We pretend and we lie and we do our best to be perfectly fake. And that perfectly fake is fake.
What do you think is the one thing that leaders can do from today to break down that barrier, to become a little bit more vulnerable, to share something intimate about themselves that's not scary and too much information? No one wants to know everything behind the bedroom doors. But I attended an event the other day. Most of the speakers were blah blah, boring, same. Then this entrepreneur came, such a successful entrepreneur. He's done it, got the scars, got the t-shirts, got the success stories, but he started from nothing and built himself up to the top. And he basically just debunked everyone's fake stories of what it takes to truly be successful business in Scotland. And it was so refreshing, and you could just see the whole energy shifted in the room. When he came there, he opened himself up to such vulnerability to say that, you know what, I failed so many times. I thought of quitting way too many times. And he didn't have to go into detail. He didn't go into the nitty-gritty of how hard it was for him, etc. It was just that moment, and it literally, Olga, took a couple of seconds that he opened up this curtain and he showed the real him, and everyone, just the whole energy in the room just shifted, and everyone just wanted to go and speak to him afterwards to find out more about him, because they connected with him instantly, because he was vulnerable, strong enough, he was powerful, he was the most powerful man in the room because he made himself vulnerable. Whew, powerful stuff.
Especially for a man, because men very often, they want to be seen as alpha males who are strong and they have no emotions and they're all these tough guys. The truth is, yeah, you are tough guys, but you have your heart and your soul. And we want to see that heart and soul. And healing, I'll actually bring two examples. One, just for comparison, let's put this way. Once I was working with my client actually on their culture and on their, reuniting the team.
Yes.
So one of the tasks, or one of the things which we agreed to do for my client, was for him to have regular meetings with his staff members and just share some gratitude and, share some things that actually happened recently, like especially on Mondays, because usually Mondays are very difficult days to come to work. So here they are, sitting in a circle, like not in a circle like spiritual circle, but like more in a circle as a team, you know what I mean? And he says to me, so we're sitting there, and I said, look, okay, guys, it would be really great if we could start Monday with some positivity. Let's just bring some things that we are grateful for that happened recently, that, we just can discuss and celebrate, right? And he said, okay. There was silence. She said, okay, let me start then. So I'm really, really grateful for the fact that today I'm going to have interview with the BBC News, and I'm really excited, and it's just fantastic news. And what about you guys? I mean, after BBC News interview, what can you say? Like, well, I had a smoothie tonight. Really? It's like, and I was like, and did anybody share anything? I said, no. What did I do wrong? I said, well, for you, it's massive achievement. And of course, being interviewed by BBC because of how far you have come, that is amazing.
Yes.
However, your staff are not at your level. And what's important is to be vulnerable and open and transparent at other people level.
Yes.
Okay. It's very easy to say like, oh, I earned my first million.
Okay.
Who are you speaking to?
High five.
Exactly. Right. So here's a very important part, right? It is about being open. It is about showing your happiness as well as your sadness. It is about being just real. If you don't have a good day, then say you don't have a good day. If you have a good day, then say you have a good day. If you have fantastic news like BBC interview, keep it with people who will get it, okay? Because again, not everybody will get. But when it comes to your organization, bring yourself to their level.
Yes.
Stop being here that people look up at you, and bring yourself down, like with children. If you want your message to be delivered to a child, you got to go down to their level. And I don't want right now to diminish the staff, like, oh, you're at lower level, but typically it is like we have hierarchy at work environment. We have it, right?
Correct.
So go down to their level and speak their language. Stop using this jargon and stuff that nobody understands. Obviously, within your organization, maybe they will, but still become a human. That example I want to bring. Yeah.
Almost like fishing. So you got to go catch it first, and then you can bring it up.
Absolutely.
You first bring them up to. You can bring them up to your level. Just you need to first attract them.
Got to be there. You got to be there, relatable to them at their level, if you want them to go with you.
Yes.
Otherwise, they will not go with you because you're up there. How can we go up there? It's a very long way. Let's not go there. But if you're here, I feel like together we can manage it. Another example I'll bring that was once, some time ago, at one of my masterminds I'm part of. We went around the room as usual. You ask, how can we help you today? You know, what is the thing you're working on so we can support you most, whatever. And then my turn came around. And at that time, I was going through massive trauma in my relationships. It was infidelity. We filed for divorce with my husband. I was traumatized massively. I stopped my business. It was just unbelievably low moment of my life. My turns comes around. I'm like, I'll pass today, guys. They're like, no, come on, Olga. How can we support with your business? What can we do for you? And I was like, I don't think so. You want to know it? So that's okay. Because again, I'm full of fears. They're going to judge me. They're going to think, ooh, what type of coach you are? They couldn't see red flags. Come on. You're not even successful if your marriage fails. Like I'm the only one responsible for that, right? So all those fears are in my mind. And I'm like, oh no. What can I say? And right now, I'm not in a business mode at all. So, okay, guys, I'll say it. Take it or leave it. You don't have to comment on it. I will just say it how it is. And I give this verbal vomit, right? So I'm going through infidelity issues with my husband. We filed for divorce because I'm not okay with that. And I stopped my business because I just can't focus even brushing my teeth. I feel so low. I feel deflated. I feel like a failure. We're only been married a couple of months. We are divorcing now. It's just been a disaster. So that's why I didn't want to share it. Okay, let's move on. There's dead silence. We are on Zoom. Dead silence in the room. Not because they're muted. They were unmuted. Because they were shocked. And one of them simply said, Olga, I loved you before. But now I thought with you even more. Obviously in a professional way. That is just incredible. And I'm like, what's incredible? I'm going for crap. Because the ability is just insane. It's like, wow, that's so inspirational. And you are there to support him. And for how long did this go on? And you're still there and you still help. He was just blown away. And one after another, everybody said, well, actually, I'm going through this.
You unlocked.
And suddenly, this room of high-flying people, successful, working on their businesses, all that stuff, turned into humans who were going through their own issues. And the room was filled with vulnerability and love and connection. And I'll tell you something, that meeting was certainly the best connected meeting we have ever had. Really was.
I'm always just so overwhelmed by in a good way by this your ability to share these vulnerable stories of you to make everyone know that it's you're just human. It's so normal for us to hide and pretend and put on this mask to say, oh, everything's great. And I'm not saying, go out and every day and tell everyone, but there is a place for it. And especially if you want to capture their buy-in and connection, you gotta be brave enough to open up your heart and share the parts of you that you're not very proud of, because it makes you vulnerable. It's Aina, right? It's pretty painful, but the beauty that comes from it. So thank you for always sharing this kind of stories with us. I really appreciate that. It makes us feel more human.
And seriously, we all are humans. If only we give ourselves permission to be ourselves. One of the primary questions which I ask myself on a regular basis is, how can I show up more so I can serve more?
Nice.
Ask yourself this question: how can I show up for real, vulnerably, authentically, fabulously me, so I can serve more other people? And think about it. Lynn, what was the last time? That's a question to you. I know you interviewed me, but that's a question to you. When was the last time you saw a speaker on a stage and speaker said, my life was always fabulous. I grew up in a healthy and fantastic family. We always had plenty of money. I had fantastic education. I never failed in my entire life. And I have amazing health. My relationship was just blooming. I have healthy children. My life is perfect. And today, I'd like to inspire you.
No, that's not gonna work.
No, because we can't relate to that, because we know it's fake. We know it's fake. We know it's not real, because we're all humans, and we know anybody saying that is lying.
Yes.
I learn from a liar, right?
No.
We are
Or what
to
is
learn.
there to learn from you? There's nothing I can learn from you because you're not
There we
real.
go. There is no value in the perfection.
No.
Let's please grasp it. There is no value in perfection. You having most imperfect life you can ever have means you're bringing value to somebody else. When I was going through that difficult time with my husband, within my own life, I was asking myself how one day I can pass it on to other people, how one day I can use all the wisdom I'm learning right now so other relationships can just bloom and become the best relationship ever, right? It's about understanding right now you're going through drama, through trauma, through, I know, incredible, painful journey for a reason. Because you are here to pass on the wisdom.
Yeah.
Good or not, there's a different question, but you are here to learn something that you will pass on, and you will change millions and millions of lives if you'll become vulnerable and you will share it. If you want to be perfect, go on Instagram, put fake lips, fake tits.
Oh, yes, yes,
No.
yes. Pain to purpose. I love that.
Exactly. Well, that's how I call my program, Pain to Purpose and Power.
You called it.
Exactly.
Olga, you are incredible. Thank you so much. I can't get enough of you, and I have to bring you back again. I've got so much more I want to talk to you about, but I'm going to have to leave that for another day. So please, Olga, let us know how we can reach you. What's the best way to is it LinkedIn? Is it website? Is it Instagram? And is there anything that you would like to share with the audience? Is there programs that you would like them to be aware of? New initiatives that you're undertaking, keynote opportunities? What is there for the world to tap into this incredible Olga?
Oh, thank you, Lynn, so much. I really appreciate that. I am on LinkedIn, I am on Facebook, and also Instagram. People can follow me on any of these platforms. The best way is just to connect with me via email or WhatsApp if you want. So I'm openly sharing these details because, come on, if I don't like, I just will block you. That's it. You'll go on your own. Why would I care, right?
Okay.
I don't worry about that stuff. But I think the best fit for your audience, actually, in fact, I have multiple programs and multiple things, but I think for your audience, well, the best fit will be probably working actually with people who are interested to connect with themselves and to step up for themselves. For example, I work with many, many, many people who are coming from different backgrounds. They call themselves immigrants or foreigners, right? That's exactly how I relate myself.
Third cultures.
Leadership positions, and they feel a little bit like, oh, I'm a foreigner, but I'm a leader. How am I supposed to lead if I'm a foreigner? All those limitations. So that's one of the group of people I work with, and I love working with these people because I'm a foreigner and I'm a leader, right? And I've been on the journey myself where I had to find myself and my power within myself. So I'll be delighted to help your audience with that. But of course, they can find out more things what I do and ask me questions. I'm here to support and help.
I love that. Thank you so much, Olga. You are just incredible. I can't wait to hear our recording afterwards, and I'm sure we will be able to inspire the people around the world. So thank you again.
Thank you, Lynn. It has been such a pleasure to be on your show. I really appreciate you inviting me. So thank you so much. Until next time.
Until next time.